Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. I have a great episode for you today. I sat down with Shantae. She's the creator behind She Boss Talk and the She Boss Talk brand, a thriving community on YouTube, Facebook, other social media. She's been helping countless entrepreneurs and business owners get the critical information they need when it comes to funding, especially SBA program. She's been there since the beginning, just like our channel. We talk about what that journey has been like over the past few years, building her channel, building her community, and getting her resources to small business owners like yourself. It's an incredibly inspiring talk. I hope you can watch until the end. Hope you enjoy. All right, Shantae, it's great to have you join us on Skip. I want to give a quick intro. I'm really excited to talk to you today. You're doing some incredible things. You have been for a long time. Your brand, serial entrepreneur. So excited to get into it. Let me give a quick intro. You're the founder of She Epic Media, the host of She Boss Talk. I think you do daily videos and lives. Incredible resource. We will certainly link to. You have a talk show, podcast, and a blog with a community of women entrepreneurs worldwide, and you shine the spotlight on business women, their gifts, stories, products, services. I'm reading your little blurb here, but just suffice to say, you're doing some incredible things to help entrepreneurs, small business owners, which has always been the mission of Skip and our community, which is why we wanted to have a chance to talk. So welcome.
Awesome. I'm so glad to be here. I've been following you throughout the pandemic, and just want to say that I love the work that you're doing, because there's not a lot of us out here sharing the information that business owners need. So I'm glad to be a partner in making sure that businesses get the resources so that they not only sustain their business, but they can pivot and scale.
Absolutely, and likewise, same with your channel as well. Through the past, however many, at least a couple of years, and
Yes, can you believe it? It's been a couple years. It
yeah,
doesn't seem like that long, but it has.
it's been incredible. And yeah, you're right. It's a small community of the folks who've been at it, helping point people to the right resources. So
Yes.
certainly want to get into that because I know you provide a lot of help there. But I do want to take a step back I think you're from Ohio. Are you from Ohio originally? Would love to hear
Yes.
kind of
I'm
your
born and raised.
story.
Yes, born and raised in Ohio, so I'm here now.
Mhm.
And I've been here since 2001. I've been back here, and I love it here in Ohio.
So when did you decide to start doing videos? Is that what came first for you, or was it something else?
Well, I tell this story a lot. I was hosting events, and I still host events, right? But prior to COVID, I was preparing to host an event in 2018, and I had a thought to while I was doing the event to host a live show on Facebook. Right, it's a free platform, right, offering the opportunity to share videos. And I know how powerful the entrepreneur story is. And I'm just like, I would love to be able to interview fellow entrepreneurs and business owners on video and have them share their success journey. Because all of us have one, all of us have a powerful story, but we often don't know it's that powerful. Sometimes we're fearful to share our story, we're ashamed of our story, but our story is there to help someone else, give others hope. So if we were able to be courageous, we can help others be courageous. If we're able to take that faith leap, we can help others take that faith leap. And oftentimes people are going through things they think it's only them. And no one else goes through these things, and there's no way out, right? And they can't rise up and move forward. And I'm here to show them that you can move forward and you can rise up. And that's what the testimonies are there for. And then in 2019, so right before COVID hit, I suffered from burnout. So I took 6 months off to really rediscover myself and my purpose, have a renewed purpose and what I wanted to do in the next 10 years. And I really wanted to focus on women entrepreneurs and business owners, because we go through a lot, we do a lot, we contribute a lot, and there's a lot of inequities and barriers that I'm here to help them overcome so that they can scale their business. So that's how it all got started.
Incredible. So 2019, you were still doing events? Was that the burnout was from just doing all those events?
No, it was from work, and it was from life, right? So we carry so many things. We're not only taking care of ourselves, our families. Many of us are running multiple businesses, not just one, right? And some of us are running businesses and in corporate America, but I've been full time for 8 years. But life, my mom passed in 2016. Many of us can relate, especially women are leaders in the family. So everything fell on me. And it was just so many things that happened after that, in addition to, dealing with grief and then managing her estate and everything else that came with it. And not taking the time to take care of me, because I'm a servant. So I'm always thinking about others. But in 2019, I decided, okay, I have to now start putting myself first, because I can't be help to other people if I'm fully depleted. I need to be overflowing, right? So that it can overflow and help other people.
Absolutely. And I don't know if this has been similar to you, but for you building your community, I mean, not only on YouTube, but on Facebook, I think a lot of other channels, you're the type of person who gets energy from helping others. Same with me. And I mean, we have a whole team. So maybe, it's a lot of work, but it's re-energizing when you're putting it out and you're hearing those stories back to you about successful entrepreneurs. I guess, what are some, I would love to get into, you're working with, so many folks that are having a tough time. I mean, frankly, the pandemic was challenging for every business. Funding, deciding whether to pivot, start a new business. Would love to hear kind of what you observed kind of going into 2020 and what you're talking about. And then kind of want to get to obviously where we're at today. But take me back to that time in 2020.
Yeah. So, I was saying how I got started, but I was pivoting, right? I had just at the end of 2019 decided to get serious about YouTube and my channel. I had moved it over, renamed, start a new channel, She Boss Talk. And I was planning events and all of this, and everything shut down. COVID shut everything down. My classes, events, in-person events, everything was shut down, was canceled for the next 2+ years. But during that time, they launched the CARES Act, okay? And with the CARES Act came so many programs that were available for entrepreneurs, small business owners, and nonprofits. And I'm just a very inquisitive person. I love to research. I want to know what's going on. And I wanted to know what could help my business, right? And then what could help other people's business. But I wanted to learn first for myself. And so I saw that they were launching the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan and Grant Program, right, that they call the Advance. There was the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. So these were programs that were available to entrepreneurs and business owners that would not have been before. It was unheard of before to be able to get access to unemployment as a self-employed individual. That was unheard of. Until COVID hit. Then that opened up the door for us to get unemployment and then extra benefits, right? Extra bonus payments through that. So if you were able to take advantage of those programs and really leverage it to pivot and scale and turn that money into more money, then that's great for all the businesses that were able to do it. Unfortunately, these programs were also very complex for a lot of people. And because of the complexities, many entrepreneurs and business owners felt very intimidated. So that intimidation, they look at it, click on it, and if they didn't know or understand, they just stopped, right? They just threw up the red flag, the white flag. And I was just like, no, we cannot do that. So I wanted to use my platform to advocate and educate to help simplify these very complex programs, break it down into layman's terms where business owners could understand, and let them know that things are often complicated, but we don't let complication and challenges keep us from getting money that we deserve and we are entitled to, right? Because we've gone through a lot as business owners during the pandemic. So, that's where it started, just being, aware of all the programs, taking advantage of it, and then sharing that so other businesses could take advantage of those programs.
Absolutely. I think it's so great. When these programs started, there just wasn't information out there that was easy to consume. And, it was
Yes.
up to creators and entrepreneurs, right? Obviously, that's the similar story for us, understanding the programs, then explaining the programs. But I think it's so important that there was a mini ecosystem of, like, here's what's out there. Let me explain it to you. And so it wasn't an issue. If people wanted to find out how to do something, a Google search would lead them to a video, and they would have that accessibility.
Yes.
So that's so important. I mean, I'm sure you've kept countless folks, in business, or give them hope.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands of business owners. Because the numbers of the statistics that were out there were just devastating, and I could not use my platform. I mean, when you talk about 41% at that time, and that was like at the end of 2020, 41% of Black-owned businesses were out of business. I mean, shut your doors, never to open again, right? And so they weren't the only ones. Many women businesses are on the front lines in a lot of these industries that were very hard hit. And they're struggling to get access to some of these programs that were out and available. I just felt that it was my responsibility to use my platform to help them, and that is the most rewarding part, to know that the information and resources and education that I did and continue to provide has helped so many businesses stay in business and then be able to rise above the pandemic.
By the way, a quick note from our sponsor: if you want to support us here at Skip, of course, you can support our community by becoming a member. And most importantly, you can get one-on-one help for your business to help you get funded, find out about what programs exist to help you get 10,000, 100,000, 1 million. We've helped people get up to $5 million in one go. So if you need help with funding, or just starting your business, getting funding ready, or growing your business, we're here for you. HelloSkip.com/join. Use the link below or referral code YTVIP. That's YT for YouTube, VIP. You'll get priority access. You get to talk to us in the next couple of days. And with that, let's get back to this interview. I want to get back to that, especially where we are now. People who couldn't get over the hurdle, who are,
Yes.
And now you're helping them navigate their options. I think the most important thing is showing them that it's possible.
Yes.
We had someone on a YouTube live a few months back. She was the just say yes coach.
Mm-hmm.
So she's basically like, say yes, and more like have a positive mindset, which I think you embody a lot of. But before that, I guess, did you have mentors when you were starting your channel? Or maybe it's other creators or entrepreneurs. Who did you look up to?
I don't know that I did have many mentors in this space. I mean, even if you look at YouTube, if you look across all the platforms, it's really male dominated. So like, even when I look on my platform and I can see like my competitors, they're all men, right? So oftentimes, I'm one of the first like women like on the scene. So I didn't have that mentorship there. However, I looked at, channels like yours and those that were really out here sharing real information, right? Because there's a lot of misinformation online. So I leveraged you all as a resource as well, because in my research, I knew that you were giving accurate information. Like, I can tell the difference, right? And so, often shared your information, and my peers would share your information as well. But I think it's important to have mentorships in any space that you're in. But just looking at others that were doing it, bringing my uniqueness, but kind of modeling, seeing what was trending, what people were talking about, what people were asking about, what the need was, and that really helped me drive the conversation.
Well, absolutely, and appreciate the kind words as well. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I've always been interested in the data and reading the CARES Act, reading the reports, reading the legislation. I wanted to pull up this quickly here, which is I think we had a few thousand people chime in on a survey back in February, and then we did a secondary post about this. I love pointing. I like pointing with the data, right? So who needs how are people feeling? How much funding they need? The EIDL program was a huge success. In fact, the survey before this showed that 60% of businesses, according to our survey, wouldn't be in business. This is what they said if they didn't get the EIDL funding. So that's like okay, this was great and really unprecedented, of course, to have this, but still that there's this need for a lot of first-time entrepreneurs. Here it is, nearly 90% of minority and women-owned businesses need more funding. This was from that survey.
And there's more funding available. There's two programs still available right now under the CARES Act that are COVID relief programs. One of them is the Child Care Provider Stabilization Grant. There's business owners that don't know about this. So if you are a child care provider, whether you have a home-based business or it is a brick and mortar, these grants are still available. They're federal funding that was provided, that was allocated to the states to give out these grants. And then some of the states, they ran out of money. That it was so popular, they ran out of money, and they passed new legislation to add more funding to the pot. And I'm still to this day seeing more states adding millions more dollars in child care grants. Child care has been one of the hardest hit sectors that we know of. And so it's so important that they know that these opportunities are out there. And congratulations to those that took advantage of them. But those that have not yet, these are available. And child care block grants, this is not the first time that they've been available, right? They've been available for states. It's just a matter of extension and expansion with federal dollars, right? And then there's another one, and you can let me know if you're familiar, the Employee Retention Tax Credit. And that's one that I've been assisting business owners with as well. The thing is it launched at the same time as PPP and EIDL, but they took the show. Everybody was focused on PPP and EIDL, that it flew under the radar. And then, at the time that it launched, you could not get PPP and the Employment Retention Tax Credit at the same time. But as we know with the other programs, rules changed, right? Rules changed, and they opened it up so you could get PP and also qualify for the Employee Retention Tax Credit, which is up to $26,000 per employee. That's significant. Like when you think about a business, and the majority of small businesses have 10 employees or less, and being able to get up to $26,000, that means on average, we're seeing businesses get $260,000 that they don't even know that they are entitled to, that they qualify for.
Oh, absolutely. That's a huge program. You're right. With so many of these government acronyms, it's interesting. Certainly between us and the community, we amplified EIDL. Everyone knew about PPP. Mainstream. Let's say lots of media picked it up, right? But not many people talked about the tax credit, and frankly, other programs. I mean, one of the kind of coming out of, I guess, in the post EIDL world, where you're helping a lot of people with now. From our perspective, the 7A microloans and 504, and those aren't. I mean, the EIDL was relatively easy to fill out compared to 7A, working with a lender. You have a list of 10 documents to fill out, but we've had a lot of. I mean, that's been our main focus. Certainly. Though there's also the other federal program. See, these acronyms aren't very catchy. the SSBDC, there's
another. There's many, right? So the program that you speak of, the 7A loan program, I'm actually going to be doing a video on it, right? It is a great program for small business owners. actually one of the biggest loan programs that the SBA offers,
Mm-hmm.
and they offer it in partnership with other financial institutions that are authorized, right, to lend under this guaranteed program. So I'm glad that you're sharing that information, because more and more business owners need to know about these programs. They also offer microloans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have many programs that they offer, and they partner with, CD. I know there's a lot of acronyms, but they partner with other like
The
CDFIs or
CDFIs.
minority advisory programs to help underrepresented groups get better access to these opportunities, like the 7A program and the micro loan programs that are offered under the SBA. There's also other non-COVID related federal grants that have been rolled down as well, that I did some recent videos on. I think you may have been wanting to mention the state small business credit initiative. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if that was the one that
That's
you're
the
about to
one.
mention,
Mm-hmm.
but that is a big one, and I know they have already authorized 5 states. So again, this
Right.
is $10 billion, I believe, that was allocated towards this program. It could have been more, but allocated towards to the states to roll out these small business credit initiatives. Now, again, this was a program that existed. It was extended and expanded
Mm-hmm.
under the American Rescue Plan Act. That many businesses still don't understand. And one of the things I've been saying for the past 2.5 years is that the most overlooked funding is at the state level.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your state, it's in your county, and it's in your city, right? It's right under your nose, in the governments and the organizations that support your community, that are your neighbors, right? But this is a great one. I know they already rolled out in 5 states,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting ready to roll this program out in 5 more states. So as they roll them out to your state's business owners, really take advantage of these programs. I mean, you have no to low interest loans, even venture capital investments, loan guarantees. They even have technical, uh, a bucket of money for technical assistance, right, and support for the business owner. There's many different programs that are available at the state level.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, and the rollout is happening over the next few months. So this is
Yes.
more like just to stay aware, obviously to follow you. Speaking of, I know you do a lot of. You do a lot of lives. I would love to hear more about that. The community you've built. Yeah, how you like to engage your community.
Yeah, I love live video. I mean, because I get to engage, with my audience, with the community. They're the ones that, really helped us grow as fast as we did. And got us where we are today is because of us being that go-to resource. We didn't just say, okay, here's the program, now go figure it out by yourself. I'm like, okay, here's the program. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to go get it for yourself. And I'm not going to, I'm an educator, right? And I don't sweet talk. These are CEOs and business owners, right? So that's how I treat them. Like, you can't be just giving up because you're tested or there's a challenge. So they appreciated that. And as they were getting results and more people were sharing the information. That's why I tell people, I can't reach everybody on my own. It takes people sharing the information and
Mhm.
knowing that them taking that simple step to share or tag someone in a video is really making a major impact. And I haven't come back and share those. I share people's testimonials as they share them with us, to let people know that this is possible. This is really happening. Even we're still in COVID, but helping them to get past COVID, to focus on not recovery, but building wealth, wealth building strategies, other programs that are out here that they help them do that. And that really just catapulted our success and just grew our community, not just here on YouTube. Like, we're almost at 60,000 subscribers and over 20,000 on Facebook. And it's just been huge. We have a loyal following because we are a trusted resource for a small business.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you followed Aubrey Jenick's videos, but we had her on recently, and another YouTuber the week before. But with certainly she covered a lot of the EIDL, PPP, and car sharing, and she's built a large TikTok following. But she always says the YouTube community she's built far and away is because these are your loyal folks who trust you. They look forward to your lives. I know we're recording this today, but as we're here, we should do a live. We should absolutely do a live together because I think
that would be so awesome. I love my YouTube family. They share everything. They come back and they share their testimonials and their wins. I love it. That just shows that community it really has no borders, really, right? It goes beyond your local, neighborhood or your family. Because a lot of people, they say, I don't have that community of support. They have family, but they don't always get that support from family and friends, because for entrepreneurship is a whole nother thing that is a foreign concept to many. They don't understand it. They don't know how to support it. And all of us as entrepreneurs and business owners need a community of support. And they found me here on YouTube, and I've been able to connect with them here on YouTube, and I just love them to death. Like, they are my family. I consider them my family, like I consider my brothers. I have 3 siblings, and they're all men, right? My brothers. But I will go to bat for my YouTube family and my online family, just like I would for my brothers. Like, don't mess with small business. Like, I'm here for you. I will fight for you. I will get on the front lines to make sure that you are taken care of, that you get what you deserve. And I've been doing that throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, right? It looks easy. I overcame challenges, right?
Yeah.
But I was there petitioning, calling my mayor and my senators, and getting on Twitter, whatever I could do to advocate for small businesses. I was doing, and they know that. So that's why they're loyal.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's, at that moment of realization, you're like, you're having a big impact on, on people's not only livelihoods, but their businesses. I mean, not only their businesses, but their livelihoods as well. And it's so important. I wanted to pull up the because we love that. I mean, again, I'll always look at the data, because what we're thinking about now is the long term for businesses. So, right, a lot of your community, our community, we've gotten through maybe a rough patch. People still need a lot of help.
Yes.
Right. So there's those few avenues. Where I want to talk about grants in a minute too, because I know you're spending a lot of time there, and we have a team that will look for those specific grants, like a Maricopa County grant, or like something up in I forget the county Cleveland's in, but the Cuyahoga County.
Cuyahoga, yes.
Yeah. So we remember. I know more counties than I probably should in the U.S., but a lot of those local grants, county grants, state grants, and programs, as you mentioned, there is often overlooked, partly because it's difficult to keep track of. Like, it's easy to talk about EIDL, but it's difficult to say, let's look in Ohio, let's look in Texas, let's look. Here's this, right. This is a big takeaway. 9 out of 10 women-owned and minority-owned businesses are at least doubtful that they would be in business today if they had not received EIDL funding. And I know a lot of those wouldn't have been able to get that if they weren't plugged in to communities to see you show that it's possible. But the positive takeaway, because I'm half glass full, so are you, but 79% of women-owned businesses that were funded are optimistic about the future of their business. So let's talk about the future of the businesses. Kind of, what are you seeing now? Like, the entrepreneurs you're helping need the most help with?
They still come back to funding, right? So that's what they think. But I try to let them know, like, I'm also I host like shows every 2 weeks on Clubhouse, and I had a lady. She has 2 businesses. She has a nonprofit and she has a for-profit business. And in both instances, she was adamant, I need funding. So I like to dig a little deeper. There's always something deeper here. But in going deeper and having her answer some questions about both of her organizations, um, what it came down to is lack of belief in themselves and lack of belief in what it is that they offer. Like she literally said that, she started this business with mirrors, right? I'm sure they're gorgeous mirrors. And, she was doing it as a hobby on the side, something she loved to do. And she would post it or share it. And people would ask her, where did you get that? And she was like, I made it, right? And then they would want to come buy it. So that tells you there's a market for it. There's a big market for mirrors, by the way. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, people pay millions of dollars for mirrors. So there's a huge market out there for that. But what she said is that I don't think people would buy. Right? I don't think people would buy. And I'm like, they just told you that they would. They just proved that they would because they bought it. But
Right.
if you don't have that belief, and I've seen that since the beginning of COVID, is that people disqualify themselves. They don't even get in the ring. Like, you don't disqualify yourself. It's just like they automatically assume they don't qualify. And so that's what one of the messages I have been putting out there since the beginning and continue to do, because there's so many business owners that struggle with that. And, and I understand COVID has been really devastating, right? And it has made a lot of us like insecure, but we have to remember like who we are and the value we bring to the marketplace. And we have to show up that way, because if we don't believe in ourselves and what we have to offer, then how are we expecting other people to do the same? And it's not that you can't make sales in your business. Like a lot of people think, okay, I need funding. Funding is there to fill in the gap. It is not there to carry your business. There's a difference. Grantors aren't in the business of carrying your business. They expect you to have a plan, that you're making money in your business, and they can offer you some support and assistance to fill the gap. Okay? But they expect you to be making money in your business. So how can we get to the point that we're making money and that we're not still, falling back on COVID as the excuse why we're not making money in our business? And in her situation, it was just a matter of belief.
Mm-hmm. It's one thing to pile on the funding now, and kind of at a macro level, right? We've just printed $5 trillion, $6 trillion. I can't remember the number, but
a lot.
So this is where we are now. Inflation, teetering on recession, the Fed trying to balance monetary policy. I mean, for a lot of business owners, when they think about like the next 6 months, the next year, right? So if they're thinking long term, right, this is a big difference between like what you need this week. And it's not easy to do, by the way, when you're just trying to keep the lights on for the next week.
Yes.
You 100% can't afford to think, 3 months ahead, 6 months ahead. I mean, any business owner realizes that it's tough to think ahead, but certainly like if you can have some nest egg, or, at least like have a little bit of cushion and runway, so then you can get customers.
We need to be, we definitely need to be leveraging the online space more than now than ever. Like everybody was forced to be online. That was the prime opportunity that some people took advantage of, but many did not, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the prime time. Like if you want to start a YouTube channel, or it's time to be online sharing content, and especially video. Content is cash, is what I always say. I was just talking about that earlier, because what happens is that a lot of times we put ourselves in a box. We get stuck and we don't think outside of the box. No one else put us in this box. We put ourselves in this box, and we think that there's this only way of doing things, or, I'm just going to stay in my comfort zone. If you want to soar past COVID, any recession, inflation, and it's not even a thing for you, right? You have to be willing to get outside your comfort zone and do something different. And many businesses have shown us that they've been able to do that, right? By pivoting your business model. Because many, especially if you're brick and mortar, they've been hit hard, right? Mm-hmm. And you're, like you said, they're trying to figure out, how am I going to pay the bills today or this month? They're not really thinking about like long term. but think about what can you do now in your business? How can you maybe bring in another stream of income? I'm big on that too.
Yeah.
Passive streams of income. But what we have is a lot of business models that's just based on one source of income. So if one source of income takes this big hit, like you're devastated. You're out of business. I mean, and that impacts your livelihood, because most of us, our livelihoods and our families is based, what happens and the quality of life we have is based on our business, right? So we can't afford just to have one stream of income. We have to have multiple streams of income. And that doesn't mean to go get another job or necessarily go start another business, but seeing what types of offers that you can create within your business that are passive streams, so that when one area is low, just like if I'm a consultant, sometimes I have high months, sometimes I have low months, right? When I was producing events, the events got canceled. So if I'm not doing anything else, then I'm just sitting at zero for 2.5 years. But I didn't. I pivoted. I did what? I went from in-person events to online, right? Hosting in-person classes to hosting online classes. But if I had it set in my mind that, oh, I don't want to get uncomfortable, I've never done online, I don't want to get on video, then I would be still stuck in that same place. And so a big part of what I've been doing is helping people get unstuck, right? Unstuck. Think outside the box. And there's many different things that you can do to bring in income, and also go after these other opportunities, including grants that, we're talking about today.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, on that note of kind of, helping someone get unstuck. I mean, becoming a creator, there's a reason why we're in the creator economy. There's a reason why 5 or 6 million new businesses are going to start this year. So this possibility to do what we're doing,
yes.
To the extent that, I mean, we haven't done any, we're launching a course in August, more to help business owners. And a lot of it's around the SBA funding, but also like basics, to your point, the content, you said content is cash, right? So how important it is to become an expert in some area. I had a close friend who had a restaurant in the Bay Area, was shut down for months, and they built a website and started a delivery. I mean, that's what restaurants had to do. So many to brick and mortar folks had to be like, all right, we need to build our online presence. How are we going to do that? We can't just pay for AdWords all the time. It's like organic content and video goes a long way.
It goes a long way, especially when you're talking about food. I mean, I think those in the food industry have it easy as far as sharing content, because all you really have to do is have a high quality photo or video of food and have people drooling. I mean, it's one of the easiest things to sell, literally, because people love food.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they love the look of it. Like, I share food all the time. Like, I love to cook. I don't have a catering service, but I love it. And I love taking pictures of food. And people ask me too about, why am I struggling? And I'm like, why are you struggling? And people want what you have. Like, you sell great cakes, like people will be drooling, but it's the quality of the photo. Either they're not sharing the content, or the quality of the content they're sharing is not high quality. But just getting out there and putting yourself out there online, people are going to see it, right? Just make sure you have public profiles, and it's not, locked and blocked profile when you're trying to get your business out there. Is not going to work, but you need to have a public profile to do it, and then you can expand from there.
Absolutely. And certainly that's why we should do a live, and then be bring people up on lives as well. Cool. You can do that. I know, actually, I think we did Instagram live before, but yeah, I mean, would be great to do that. We're announcing something in August. To your point, we want to inspire creators, what's possible. So we have some initiative there, mainly to just kind of shine a light on entrepreneurs. Same thing you're doing. So we should certainly work together on that. And let's shift to grants, because
that would be cool.
Yeah,
I love talking about free money.
Me too. So, okay. So I guess, what are you seeing now that's interesting for people we're in July 2022 as we're recording this, but
yeah, there's more grants coming out than ever before. I said it in 2020 that it was more coming in 2021 to get prepared. And in 2021, I said there's more coming in 2022, and there'll be more coming in 2023. So there are no shortage of grants that are available. There, again, state, county, local, your city governments, organizations like the chambers and your business centers, your women business centers, and there's tons of national grants. What happened is that many of these multi-billion-dollar organizations and companies saw the disparities out there, and they love small businesses, and they said, okay, what are we going to do, right? We can't just sit on it. We have to put our dollars, put our dollars towards this. So they have strategic plans, full agendas. You're talking about like 4 or 5 to 10-year agendas with billions of dollars behind it towards grant programs for small business, right? So we see that with the National U.S. Chamber, the U.S. Black Chamber. I think they have 1 or 2 grants. One that I applied for maybe about a month ago. This is the second round that they've had, where they give out $50,000 grants, and you don't even have to be a member of the chamber. I know the U.S. Chamber, the National U.S. Chamber, just not too long ago closed their I think they closed their Dream Awards, right? Dream Big, right?
Yeah.
And with the top prizes of $25,000. I mean, that is huge. That's significant, for a business. One thing that I would mention is that a lot of people, again, they don't think outside the box. It's like they're in one industry. Where are the grants for salons? Where are the grants for, I'm a trucker? Where are the grants for that? I'm in real estate. Where are the grants for that? And they're not thinking outside. They're putting themselves in the box. What I would encourage you all to think about is the different categories of grants, of demographics that grantors support. You need to understand the grantor and their mission, and that it aligns with your mission and values. But think about, their grants are for small business. Are you a small business? Do you meet their definition and criteria that they have set for small business, right? Are you in the specific geographic location, if there is one, right? Look at that. Are you a veteran? Because there's grants for veterans specifically, right? Are you in a minority group, like a Latina or a Black, African American? Are you Native American? All of these different demographics, there's a grant for, right? Yes. So there's no shortage of grants. Even drilling down to industries, there are some industry specific grants. There's a lot of grants right now for restaurants. I just had a lady reach out to me. She has a small bakery and she's needing funding, right? So she could keep her bakery going. And I'm like, well, have you applied for any of the many restaurant grants that have came out? And she's like, no. So, I immediately provided her with resources so she can begin applying, because so many restaurants missed out on the restaurant revitalization grant that was underfunded, and they still have not funded to allow those people to get their grants that they qualify for. But because that happened, other companies and organizations came out with grants like DoorDash. DoorDash right now has a relief grant for restaurants, and I believe that grant is $10,000. So again, these are only a few of the thousands of grants that are available for small business. Whether you are a gig worker, entrepreneur, business owner, or nonprofit, there are grants for every type of business.
Oh yeah. And here's a little look at this is just from a live we did yesterday with some of our members, and it has some of the, well, we do grants. We donate nearly all of our YouTube revenue back to give out $1,000 grants.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's been great. We started, actually, it'll be 2 years. No, September 2020 is when we first started it, because that's when everyone was like, what are our second stimulus checks? So it's can we donate? I mean, it's grown over time, and I just wanted to keep at it. So it's a small thing, but actually a lot of these programs, it's our grants are free to enter. They're open for everyone. And it's better odds than a lot of other programs that maybe only have 1 or 2 per month. We pick usually between 5 and 10, but yeah, there's a bunch. There's the Instagram for Black owned and led businesses. It's with the Brooklyn Museum, which is just down the street from here. So yeah, as you mentioned, the Service Foundation. So, and I know we keep lists. I know you have a lot of lists too, and people can stay in touch on your website. We're gonna have all those links below. So basically, people can
that's the beauty of it, is that you can share grants, I can share grants, and there's still, there's no competition, right? I mean, there's so much opportunity out here. There is room for everybody, right? Everybody has their own lane, and there's not enough of us sharing. So we need more businesses to have access to this information. So I appreciate you, having your platform and dedicating it to helping business owners get access to grants like this as well. And just like yourself, during COVID, I was seeing how hard hit women in business were, and I wanted to start a grant fund for them, and I did it, right? So I had a goal, and it was a big goal, but I didn't wait till I was at that big goal, right? Sometimes we just want everything to be perfect. I took what I had, I put together a GoFundMe campaign at the time, and there still are matching $500 if you raise $500, right? And put it out to my peers and say, this is what I'm doing. I want to start a grant program for women in business. And they contributed, whether it was $5, $10, $100. We just got $100 donation the other day. And that excites me, right? Because that goes back into our grant program, something that I just made a decision on. Right.
Yeah.
I want something I wanted to do. I just made a decision. Everything didn't have to be perfect. Everything didn't have to be together. But I know what we were able to help fund 10 women businesses in 2020. Then we made it bigger and better in 2021. And now we're making it bigger and better in 2022 with our third round. That's amazing. And it's just we want to have the best and largest grant program for women in business, and it's called the She Boss Up Grant Fund. And I'm so excited about it.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, absolutely. The question is, how can we get every creator to do similar things, right? I mean, a lot of people, when you get big enough, you have a nonprofit arm or a philanthropic arm. Certainly, Mr. Beast gives a lot of his money away, but could he dedicate some of that to entrepreneurs, right? Because this is the point. Small businesses drive the U.S. economy.
Yes.
And women-owned, minority-owned businesses are the fastest growing group of business owners. The ones that have been historically underserved by traditional lenders. They need access to more opportunities. So if we could inspire maybe just 100 other creators and entrepreneurs to do similar initiatives, and
that would be huge. And it better than that is partnering together on a huge initiative. I would love to see that. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
put a big media push behind it. Get other corporate partners to join us. That would be huge, because there's still such a need in the small business community, and if we can make that happen, that would be awesome. But just the work that we're doing is great. So just shout out to you and all the other ones that I see that are doing this, and hopefully this will inspire other creators to do the same, because it is needed and it's so rewarding, and the impact that it has on the business is just nothing like it.
Oh, absolutely. And just so honored to talk again, and I appreciate that you've been a long time not only supporter of the information we put out, but that you've shared the information we've put out. So that's our goal, to put it out there and make sure it's accurate. And and I know you're an incredible resource for a lot of the folks who watch us. They say, oh yeah, they were watching you as well. So just
isn't that awesome?
It's amazing. Yeah.
We get the same, right? That means we're doing something right. We've been in here a long time. A lot of people, they got on for a month or so, but we've been here for the long haul, helping small businesses. And so they know that, and they appreciate that. And they love it to the point where they're willing to share the resources, right? So they share us with your community, they share your community with our community, and we're happy
absolutely
to help any way that we can.
Well, Sounds great. And anything I didn't ask you, I mean, in terms of, we're going to link to you and put this blurb together. And certainly I would love to do a live soon, because I think, as you said, you get energy from your audience when they're asking questions. Same with us. So I know that's going to be impactful. But anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah, just connect with us. Follow us wherever we are on social media. It's easy to find us. She Boss Talk, as She Boss Talk, on any platform. There's no one else like us. But we have many programs coming up. Again, we have our new She Pitch Perfect pitch competition coming up in September. So look out for that. Get ready to participate in that. And then in the winter, around November, December timeframe, we will be launching our third round of our She Boss Up grant. And that's going to be huge as well. So get ready for that.
Amazing. And we'll provide all those links as well. But congrats on the growth and the impact and the inspiration. I mean, that you've been able to help so many business owners. But great to see you.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks again. So hope you enjoyed the interview with She Boss Talk. Would love to hear what questions you have for her or what you're thinking about after listening to that. Plus, don't forget to go check out her links, check out the amazing things she's doing. And of course, if you want help to grow your small business or get funding, go to helloskip.com/join. Use the link today. You'll get a special discount. And as always, thanks for subscribing. I'll see you in the next episode.